I'll actually be the one going over the power of email marketing. Response Targeted Marketing is a marketing firm in downtown St. Louis. We do everything under the sun regarding marketing. So we have a print division, we have a web division, we do websites, social media, SEO, as well as email marketing. And we are actually the local representatives in St. Louis for Constant Contact, if anyone's ever heard of that. It's an email marketing service provider. Yeah, so we do a lot of work with them and a lot of work in the area, just teaching people about it, how to use it, why it's helpful. With that and social media. So hopefully you guys get some helpful tips and just an idea of if you aren't sold on why email marketing is helpful for building connections and networking and things like that. Hopefully this helps you a little bit. And if you are already convinced of that, we do give some tips on how to use it more for your benefit and measure the results, which is probably the most important part of the campaigns that you run. So, my thing is off. I am not Barry Kazire, obviously. My name is Melissa Hager. But that is my email address, and Stan was kind of walking around getting some business cards and email addresses and things like that. And that is so that we can send you a copy of this PowerPoint afterwards. So if I move too quickly for 30 minutes, you definitely can review it afterwards. You can definitely email me if you have any questions that I don't cover today. I'm more than welcome to go over anything with you that you specifically have questions on. So we're going to talk about some of the basics, how you can connect with the connections that you have outside of email marketing, how you can build your lists. So obviously you need somebody to email to before you start with a campaign. We're going to talk about just ongoing communication with people, which is really at the base what email marketing is. So, where will the majority of next month's business come from? This is a question that small business owners ask themselves. Where are we going to get new business from? The answer a lot of times is your existing customers. Either they are going to purchase with you again, or they are going to refer someone to do business with you. So there are a lot of ways that you can really use that to your benefit. That you already have this base that you've sold to or communicated with. And gotten to support you and whatever it is that you do, and they are more than willing, they should be more than willing to do business with you again and to tell people about their experience with you. So what is your best source for new business? Existing customers. Engagement marketing is using technology to make that happen, to be able to get your reach out to many people that you would not be able to contact on a daily basis. To get that reach out and encourage them to share it with other people and to remind them that you're still there. So why email marketing? Marketing today is building relationships. You get all these new tools we have in marketing, right? Over the last 10 years, marketing has completely changed. The books in school cannot keep up with what's happening in marketing right now. And so basically we had things like a lot of print material, direct mail, which we actually do, so it's not that we've discredited it entirely, but we had all of these things that were taking a lot of time and energy and money for people to do. And when email marketing and social media kind of started pulling into the business space, there was a lot more time and energy and resources to spend on actually getting the business and actually retaining that business. You didn't have to spend as much on reaching people because it was a much wider reach, a much larger area that they would be coming to. So email marketing allows you to get right into their inbox. And if you think about your own email, how many of you guys check email on your phones? Right? Okay. All right. How many of you check email on a regular basis? Does anyone check their email today? Okay. So, if you think about it from a consumer standpoint, what kinds of emails do I read? What kinds of emails entice me to open them? That's kind of how you want to view your email marketing campaigns. What are my target audience going to respond to? So it really has allowed you to, if you're doing it right, it has allowed you to reach people that you wouldn't have been able to prior to. And social media is the same way. It allows you to get to so many people that you would not be able to call on the phone and talk to every day. So acquiring customers obviously takes time, money, energy, effort, all those things. And like I said, there was this funnel that marketing experienced people would kind of like look at, and it was basically that the most of your time and energy and money was spent in getting new customers, just reaching out to them. So like maybe a good example is a direct mail marketing campaign to like blanket an area. You spend a lot of money on the card and the design and the postage and everything like that. Then you only had a little bit of money left after people actually wanted to do business with you from reaching them. You only had a little bit of money left to retain that relationship and continue to stay in touch with them and continue to pursue them, because at the same time, you were still trying to reach new customers. So what email marketing has really done is allow you to stay in touch with them, with people that you've already made connections with, people who are already supporting you, people who are already purchasing from you or buying anything. You can now engage with them on a regular basis in an easy way that is affordable and does not take as much time out of your day. So on average, it takes about 7 touches for a sales to occur. So that might mean that they see your sign somewhere. That might mean that they get a phone call from you or an email, or they see you on Facebook or something like that. But on average, it takes about 7 times of them seeing something of yours with your branding on it. And that doesn't mean that every person it takes 7 times, but on average, that's about where it comes to. So some people will buy right away. They see an offer in a magazine or in a billboard or something like that, and they decide, yeah, I've got to have that right now. Other people, we call them professional buyers, will research it and look at different things that different people who sell the same product or do the same thing and why they should go with you. And try different, want to ask for a trial, or if they could get some kind of examples or things like that. And some will show interest, but they don't trust you. So these are the people, in any of these cases, you can continue to stay in touch with them regardless of where they're at on that scale. Because there might be somebody who's already bought with you, and that's great to stay in touch with them, to thank them for their business, to tell them about what else you offer, to tell them about how they could stay in touch with you, why they should tell other people about what you do. For people who are looking to research, you're just inviting them to look at more information to tell them why they should connect with you, and you should be the one that they look for whatever the services you're providing. And the people who show interest and don't trust you, it could completely not be a personal thing of them not trusting you. It could be that they just don't have enough information, or they're skeptical about whatever it is that you do, or they're skeptical about, I don't want to be sold something. So this is a great way to kind of your email marketing can be so personal. It can be so personalized, and it can be really something that you do spend some time on to convey a clear message to them about what you stand for and what you do and why you do it. And those are all things that can contribute to them trusting you. So you want to keep your customers coming back. The value of a customer, you have already paid for them. You did use some sort of promotion to get them to come to you to begin with. It's 6 to 7 times more expensive to gain a customer than to retain a customer. And a lot of that is due to social media and email marketing. Because you can retain a customer by encouraging them after they purchase with you, or even before they purchase with you, to join your email list, to follow you on your social media platforms. And that way, you're constantly touching them, constantly, sending things out to them, letting them know what else you have, and they might buy from you again. That's not costing as much money as going out there and prospecting, or the time that it takes to do that, or direct mail campaigns again. So also the customer, they are more likely to spend more with you. That could mean more time, it could mean more energy, it could mean more money. So repeat customers will spend 67% more than a new customer, because they're just trying it out. After people have bought from you and have had a positive experience and know that your product works or your service is great, they're more likely to spend more money with you, or spend more time with you, or whatever it is, just because they already trust you and they already know that they like what you have. So they are also your referral engine. So we work with small businesses. We consider ourselves the small business marketing experts in St. Louis. And we work with a lot of small businesses. I talk to them on the phone every day. And we have people who tell me, I'm not doing marketing, I'm just doing word of mouth referral. That is marketing. And it's very fortunate that you don't have to pay people to do it. I make jokes a lot of times for companies that I like and have enjoyed doing business with, that if I tell somebody about it and they go purchase from them, I will make a joke, they should give me some commission from that for selling them on that product or that service. And it's true, they are doing that for no money, just because they've really enjoyed the experience they've had with you. So that's something you want to keep in mind. After 10 purchases, a customer has already referred up to 7 people. If you guys think about things that you do on a regular basis, purchases that you make, connections that you have with business structures and whatever, that when you're doing that, when you're meeting with those people or experiencing whatever, being in a store, being one-on-one with them, you have to think about how many people do you tell about those positive experiences, or the negative ones. But how many people do you reach out to afterwards and say, I had a fantastic experience, you should get your car from so-and-so, it was awesome, they had great service, or, oh, I tried this new face wash and it's fantastic, it's a mall, you should go get it. People do that on a regular basis. So your people who have already done business with you, people who are already in connection with you and know that you guys are great and whatever it is you have to offer is fantastic, will refer other people if they've had a positive experience. So it is cost effective, more cost effective. So for the same response, direct mail costs 20 times as much as email. Again, I'm not here to bash direct mail. There are definitely industries for sure that have a demographic that still responds largely to direct mail. But there are some demographics and some industries that don't have that same response. So you do, if you've been doing direct mail or if you've tried it and it did not work or whatever, there are a lot of ways that you can do research on your target audience, your demographic that you're reaching, and how they respond to direct mail versus email. But what we've seen overall is that it does cost 20 times as much as email for people to get the same response, which means whatever the offer is in the email versus whatever the offer is on the direct mail card. If they were the same, more people would commit the action that is on the email than they would on the direct mail piece. So email return on investment is the highest when compared to other internet marketing mediums. So across everything else on the internet, any other marketing tools you're using on the internet, email marketing return on investment is the highest. So it doesn't have any long turnaround times. There's no paper cost, postage cost, or delayed delivery times. You've set it up. It's all within your power to schedule out to go at whatever time. You don't have to wait for it. So that's something that's a really huge positive for email. So what is it? How does it work? Email is not spam. So how many of you guys, when you do get emails, kind of go through this like scrolling time where you're just checking all these things, you just want to delete them, get them out of there. So the goal is to not be one of those people. And if you think about the kinds of emails those are, they're usually people that you don't know. They're usually of a product that you're not interested in or a service that you're not interested in. And they usually have spammy titles like, get this for free, or have those spammy words in them. So email is permission-based marketing. That's what we like to call it. And we don't encourage, we have people ask us, well, I want to try email marketing, can I buy an email marketing list of people that are in this demographic? We strongly, strongly, strongly advise against that because it will end up in spam folders. You will likely be blacklisted because those are people that don't know you, have never heard of your company, they're not going to trust you, they're going to put it in spam or delete it. So you want to reach people that you've actually had contact with, that you've met somewhere. Maybe you met them at a trade show, maybe you met them in their store, maybe they came in to visit you somewhere. And that doesn't mean that every time you meet somebody you have to say, can I put you on my email list? But a lot of times with business cards, you have business cards and they have your email address on them. Why do they have your email address on them? So that people can email you. So a lot of times when you're doing any business networking, people will give out those business cards like nobody's business. And you can easily take those and convert them into a file. The best thing you can do is have an email marketing service provider that allows them to opt out of the subscription because you do want to give them the opportunity. You don't want to force somebody into getting something they don't like. That'll just make them not like you. So you could easily make that an option for them, as well as at the beginning of the email, and I'll show you a little bit about that, there's something called a permission reminder to tell them, I met you at this trade show, or it was great, getting lunch with you, blah, blah, blah. So it reminds them where they met you from and why they should know who you are, which is good to do. So email marketing is delivering professional email communications. It's not somewhere that you use for for personal use or anything like that. You don't want to put things that aren't related to your business in them when you're sending out email marketing campaigns. You also want to send it to an interested audience. So with that, like I said, if you're sending out emails to somebody who is not even a qualified prospect at all, has no relevance to what you're doing, that's not going to get a good return, and it'll just be time that you wasted plugging in their information and sending out the email if you're sending it out to everyone who's not even interested. So there's obviously a way you can get people who are actually interested in what you do. There are those people. So making sure that the people that you're putting into your email list are interested. Then you want it to have information that they find valuable. The last thing you want to do is send out an email marketing campaign or some sort of e-newsletter that you just send because somebody told you to send it. Because I stood up here and said, you should do email marketing. That's the last thing you want to do. You will not have a success. I can tell you will not have a successful campaign if you don't have some sort of goal for your email marketing newsletter or your email marketing campaign. So the information that you put in there, you want it to be valuable. You want it to be something they can use and something that is relevant to your industry, something that actually means something to you, something that you want to convey to them. And that'll show. It shows more as real and not this fake, I'm just keeping in touch with you because this marketing lady told me to. So you want to do it to educate, empower, and engage. One of our hugest things at Response is education. We really believe that that our community can learn to do these things for themselves. And while we do offer to do these things for companies, to email market for them and social media work for them and things like that, while we do offer that, we offer tons of courses on a regular basis because we believe in educating people about what we do and about why it's powerful and about how it can work. So the same goes for you guys and for what you do. And educating people about that because it's something that people are interested in. And then empowering them to make an educated decision on whatever your goal is for the campaign. You want them to ultimately do something, whether that be to visit your visit your website, to call in to talk to you about something, to purchase something, whatever it may be. You want to empower them with the necessary information to make that decision. And then you really want to just engage them. They might not take that action right at that moment. They might not decide during this email that they're going to do something, but they will remember if it was something that was engaging, and they will be more likely to open an email from you again. So you want to make email marketing easier. So can everybody see this picture? Kind of a little bit. Basically, it's an email from inside of something that looks like maybe Outlook, an outdated version of Outlook. And so it has just all this just text. There's nothing visual about it. It says win a trip to Chicago, win a trip to the Australian Open. Those are things that people might be interested in. But there's nothing that catches your attention, right off the bat. So with regular email, you have a limited number of emails that are sent at one time. So you can't, unless you're willing to sit there and go through all of your contacts and add them all in and paste them all into the to bar, and you can't send out hundreds of thousands of them if you wanted to, because that would take a lot of time, and I don't even think it's possible to do that. There's no formatting control. There's no way to format pictures in there to make it look branded. There's no way to have the colors of your website. There's a list breakup is more susceptible to filters. So breaking up the different things in your lists and sending out 5 different emails where you have 20 names in there at one time because you have to send multiple emails, that's more susceptible to filters. It looks like spam, to the spam catchers. There's no cohesive branding, like I said. And then on top, the biggest thing about this is that there's no tracking or reporting of email results. There is no way for you to know if your email got opened, if somebody clicked through to what you asked them to do. There's no way to know that. There's no way to know if nobody opened it, if it bounced from certain people, if it went into spam filters. You have no way to measure those results. So with an email service provider, for Constant Contact, I know, and there are a couple of other popular email service providers that do the same thing, but they have easy-to-use templates. It's really just plug and play. There's a template that is already set up. You can just plug your pictures in, plug your texts in, put some links in there, and it takes a lot less time than having to build something from scratch and make it look good. You can really include your branding in there, so with any of the templates, you can change the colors to match the colors on your website. You can put your logo in there. You can personalize it. You can put it to where there's some sort of greeting so that it says their name. It's just called an alt tag that you put in there, and it'll pull the name from your contact list. Then you can grow your social networks because you can put the social media icons in there to tell them that you're on those platforms as well. You can put links to your website as one of the more important parts of email marketing. With your emails, if they don't do something in the email, the least that you want them to do is to go to your website to learn more about what you have to offer. Because if the email didn't sell them on doing something with you, the website could. So there can be links to your website in there, easy to put in. It'll grow referrals because you encourage people to share the email. And then the most important part is the reporting. So in the back end of Constant Contact, there is a way to check how many people opened it, how many sent it, how many links there were, clicked into. You get a list of exactly who clicked into the links. So for us, when we get a list of people who click through to, let's say, some sort of postcard sale, we know that we can contact those people and say, hey, we have a postcard sale. Were you interested in that? And then they'll say, yes, I was. I actually got your email last week. Great. Okay, so those things really make it easier for you to do something with those results. So emails also provide a way to schedule and save you some time. So you can take a block of time, create emails, and then schedule them to go out at a certain time, so that you don't have to get back on, and send it in on like a Monday at 3 o'clock, or you can schedule it to go out at that time. You can make several different emails and schedule them all for different times, and it helps save you some time in when you're creating the email, just being able to block that time off and say, okay, I'm going to finish it in this time, and then schedule it, and you don't have to worry about it again. So, ever got an email with all those different names in it at the top, where you are like in a list of all these people? You don't want that. One, because it'll make people angry that other people can access your email address, and two, because it just looks unprofessional. So this is the permission reminder I was reminding you guys about, that you give them why they're receiving the email, where you know them from, and then giving them the option you may unsubscribe if you no longer wish to receive emails from us. So that's a great thing to put on there, because you do want to give them the option to get out if they are not liking whatever it is that you're sending them. So, so different ways that you can build your email list is that you really want to just collect emails from any incoming or outgoing calls, events and meetings, email signatures. You can really collect your email addresses from any of these places. And am I running like show on time? Okay, so I know you're okay. So I'm just gonna breeze through. This does tell you about some content ideas that you can put into your emails. There are a lot of really helpful things on why people would want to read your emails. And it all is involved in whatever you have inside of them. You have to offer them something inside of them that they want to read. And then it talks about the different type of way that you can organize the content within your emails. Again, we will send this to you, so you do have that. We have a 2x2x2 principle, which basically just goes over your subject lines or your headlines and how you should organize those to make sure that your email ever gets opened. And these are just some examples of bad subject lines and then corrected ones that would make you want to open the email. So this is an example of the inside where you can see how many bounces there were, how many spams, opens, clicks, things like that. So you can track your results on what you're doing. And a lot of animated arrows. So it tells you what you can do with that information that you track. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and if you guys can fill out your Afterthought surveys, on the information that we presented today. Sam is going to go around and pick those up if that's okay. And we do have free constant contact trials if anyone's interested in trying it and looking at the back end and seeing what they can do with it. We do have that available for, I think it's a 60-day trial. Yeah, 60-day trial. So on the rest of this, it shows some of the other things that we do. We do have classes with LinkedIn and Facebook and things like that on a monthly basis, some of that education I was talking about earlier. And if you're interested in anything like that, you can email me. But thank you guys for having us, for sure.